Narasina Dutt College considers its students as its most valuable asset. The institution is dedicated to provide quality education to its students. This quality education goes beyond the curricular limitations. We try our level best to make our students aware of different thread-bearing facts going on in the society which may affect their lives in future. Drug abuse and trafficking are notable major facts to be taken care of. It is more significant for undergraduate and postgraduate students as their immature age is highly vulnerable. I would like to congratulate my dear colleagues, especially members of Student Welfare Committee, for arranging such a session to aware our beloved students on the occasion of World Anti-Drug Day. We have with us Madam Shushmita Banerjee, eminent activist on drug-related issues. I am sure that her message will enrich our students and the session will be a memorable one. Thank you.
The Students' Welfare and Aid Fund Subcommittee of Narasina Dutt College, in collaboration with the IQAC, is going to launch today, that is 26th of June, a web video presentation on the occasion of World Drug Day to mark worldwide initiatives against drug abuse and illicit trafficking. I congratulate the Students' Welfare and Aid Fund Subcommittee for this endeavor, and I believe the presentation will be extremely informative and beneficial for our students as also for general viewership. Thank you.
In 1987, the United Nations General Assembly decided to observe 26 June as the International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking as an expression of its determination to strengthen action and cooperation to achieve the goal of an international society free of drug abuse. Substance abuse and the illicit trafficking of drugs is an evil in our society which causes disorientation among a majority of the youth. 26 June is a day celebrated worldwide with much conscious fervor to make people aware and emphasize the hazards of drug addiction and illegal trafficking. Earlier, this was considered criminal, but now it is more or less considered as a major threat to the health and security of the people around us. We can succeed if we reinforce our commitment to the basic principles of health and human rights and shared responsibility, a balanced approach to reducing supply and demand and universal access to prevention, treatment and support. This will foster communities free of drug-related crime and violence. With this in mind, we have organized this visual display of drug abuse and its prevention on the very day of 26 June, the Anti-Drug Addiction Day.
আজ 26শে জুন মাদক বিরোধী আন্তর্জাতিক দিবস। 1987 সালের 7ই ডিসেম্বর রাষ্ট্রসংঘ এই দিনটিকে মাদক বিরোধী দিবস হিসেবে ঘোষণা করেছে। এই দিনটি পালনের মূল উদ্দেশ্য হল মাদক পাচারের মারাত্মক প্রভাব সম্পর্কে সচেতনতা বৃদ্ধি করা এবং প্রতিরোধের ব্যবস্থা করা। মনে রাখতে হবে মাদকের সঙ্গে আরও অনেকগুলো বিষয় জড়িত হয়ে আছে, যেমন অপরাধমূলক কার্যকলাপ, দুর্নীতি, সন্ত্রাস। প্রতি বছরের মতো এবারে মাদক বিরোধী দিবসের মূল ভাবনাটি হল শেয়ার ফ্যাক্টস অন ড্রাগস অ্যান্ড সেভ লাইভস। নাগরিক হিসেবে আমাদের প্রধান কর্তব্য প্রকৃত তথ্যকে সামনে নিয়ে আসা, আমাদের পরিবার, ছাত্র সমাজ, তরুণ প্রজন্ম, যুব সমাজের সামনে প্রকৃত তথ্য তুলে ধরা, মাদকের ভয়ঙ্কর প্রভাব সম্পর্কে সচেতন করা, মাদকমুক্ত সমাজ গড়তে হলে মাদকদ্রব্যের প্রাপ্তি যাতে সহজলভ্য না হয় সেটি নিশ্চিত করা। আসুন আজকের দিনে আমরা অঙ্গীকারবদ্ধ হই, একটি মাদকমুক্ত বিশ্ব গড়ে তুলি।
It gives me immense pleasure and pride today to introduce our eminent guest, Shushmita Banerjee Madam, trainer in addiction prevention and treatment. She conducts training on universal treatment curriculum for substance use disorders in Colombo Plan initiatives. Madam Shushmita Banerjee provides training on treatment and prevention for NGOs and private organizations. Previously, Ms. Banerjee has been executive trainer under the Drug Advisory Program and has organized and conducted training on the following curriculum: Universal Treatment Curriculum for Substance Use Disorders and Rural-Based Prevention and Treatment Curriculum for Substance Use Disorders. Thank you, Ms. Banerjee, for joining our program today.
World Drug Report 2020, published by the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, estimated that over 35 million people suffered from drug use disorders in the year 2018. And around 269 million people used drugs worldwide in the year 2018, which is 30% more than in 2009. And World Health Organization in the year 2020 estimated that harmful alcohol use causes 3 million deaths each year and accounts for 10% of deaths in the age group of 15 to 49 years. Now, apart from loss of life, substance use also leads to a wide range of problems such as increase in HIV, hepatitis, and tuberculosis infections due to risks related to injecting substances, unsafe sex, lack of concern about health, and poor compliance with medication, which is also often associated with substance use and substance intoxication. Moreover, risks of accidents, injuries, and disability increase due to substance-induced changes in thought, mood state, perception, and behavior. Substance use also leads to loss of productivity at work, increased healthcare costs in community, increased violence and crime, financial instability in affected homes, and emotional trauma, which is faced not only by person using drugs but also by his or her family. Now, every year on June 26, International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking is commemorated to strengthen global action and cooperation to achieve the goal of an international society free of drug abuse and to raise awareness in our fight against substance abuse as well as the unlawful trade of drugs. The theme of this year's World Drug Day, that is the theme of 2021 World Drug Day, is Share Facts on Drugs, Save Lives. This campaign aims at combating misinformation and promotes sharing the facts on drugs, from health risks and solutions to tackle the drug problem to evidence-based prevention, treatment and care. As students and young people, you can play an important role in strengthening this global campaign. So what can you do? Try to know more about this issue, raise awareness among your friends, among your family members, and in your community. Address the stigma that surrounds addiction so that people with substance use disorder do not feel ashamed to seek treatment. Unfortunately, untreated drug and alcohol use results in thousands of deaths every year and impacts many more lives. So here are a few slides on understanding substance use disorders and youth participation in prevention and treatment. These slides talk about what are psychoactive substances, how psychoactive substances work in our brain and result in addiction, what are some of the factors that affect one's vulnerability to addiction, what are some of the services available in the area of substance use prevention and treatment, what roles young people can play in addressing substance use in their community. So I hope you find this presentation useful. Thank you.
COVID-19 has brought unprecedented public awareness on health, protective measures for staying healthy, and most importantly, and on protecting each other. A growing sense of global community and solidarity continues to emerge, as does the need to ensure health care for all. World Drug Day is a day to share research findings, evidence-based data, and life-saving facts to continue tapping into a shared spirit of solidarity. The campaign invites everyone to do their part by taking a firm stance against misinformation and unreliable sources while committing to share only the real science-backed data on drugs and save lives. This video by Student Welfare and Aid Fund Subcommittee is a small step towards sharing facts and saving lives. To have a better understanding of the drugs, we need to understand the substance use disorders, its youth participation in prevention and treatment. This presentation will focus on to the following: what are psychoactive drugs, what is addiction, how psychoactive substances work in the brain, factors affecting one's vulnerability to addiction, spectrum of services, and what roles young people can play in addressing substance use in their communities. Now, what are psychoactive substances? Psychoactive substances affect the body's central nervous system. It alters the mood, thoughts, sensory perceptions, and behavior. Psychoactive substances can be classified based on primary effects on the central nervous system, namely stimulant, opioid, depressant, hallucinogen, and others. And what are legal substances? Just because a substance is legal does not mean it is safer than the illegal substances. What is addiction? A chronic relapsing brain disease that is characterized by compulsive substance seeking and use despite harmful consequences. It is not a character flaw or a moral failing. It is a health problem, and we must address this substance abuse as a health problem. Now, what are the main parts of the brain that are most affected by substance use? That is the cerebral cortex, the brain stem, and the limbic system. Cerebral cortex processes information from the senses, the thinking, and the judgment center of the brain. Brainstem controls functions critical to life such as heart rate, breathing, blood pressure, sleeping, and awakening. and the limbic system is responsible for learning and memory. It plays important role in emotional behavior and contains the brain's reward circuit. Now, how is substance use related to reward circuit? Our brains are wired to ensure that we repeat life-sustaining activities by associating those activities with pleasure or reward. The neurotransmitter dopamine is central to this. Whenever the reward circuit is activated by a healthy, pleasurable experience, a burst of dopamine signals that something important is happening that needs to be remembered. This dopamine signal causes changes in neural connectivity that make it easier to repeat the activity again and again without thinking about it, leading to the formation of habits. Now, how addiction and the reward circuit works. Psychoactive drugs produce much larger surges of dopamine that teach the brain to seek drugs at the expense of other healthier goals and activities. And of course, no one ever plans to become addicted, but the initiation starts with recreational use or circumstantial or occasional use, then it intensifies into regular use, and then it becomes compulsive or becomes addictive use. But why doesn't everyone who tries a substance becomes addicted? Between 40 and 60% of a person's vulnerability to addiction is generic, and it is an interaction between biology, that is genes, and the environment. Now, the etiology model proposes that the interactions of personal characteristics and the micro and macro level environments work during the person's addiction habit. The macro level and the micro level environments consists of family, peers, school, workplace, and macro level conditions comprise of poverty, social environment, and physical environment. Now, what is the effect of substance use on women? Compared with men, women tend to develop physical problems related to substance use sooner, and then it escalates to addiction more quickly. And the effect that the substance use leaves on a woman are much based on the research has been done regarding alcohol consumption, but newer research suggests that there is a similar pattern of rapid progression with illicit drugs. During the fetal stages, effects generally range from low birth weight to developmental behavior and cognitive deficits. During fetal stage, cocaine and marijuana exposure leads to impaired attention, language and learning skills, and behavioral problems. Methamphetamine exposure leads to fetal growth restriction, decreased arousal, and poor quality of movement in infants. And heroin exposure leads to infants born addicted, low birth weight, and an important risk factor for delayed developmental situations. And when we study the effect of substance use on youth, we find drug and alcohol abuse can disrupt brain function in areas critical to motivation, memory, learning, judgment, and behavior control. All of these brain functions continue to mature into adulthood. and introducing drugs while the brain and body are developing may have profound and long-lasting consequences. The effect of substance use on youth, that is early use of drugs, increases a person's chances of more serious drug abuse and addiction. Young people also are particularly vulnerable to physical and social problems related to social and substance use. Then what is the role of the youth? Raise awareness in the community on addiction and treatment options for prevention, early intervention, and to address and reduce stigma. Provide referral services to those who need. Show care and compassion to the affected individual and their families, and follow up with those in recovery if possible. How can awareness generation be achieved? It can be achieved through audiences and messages like community leaders and influencers, teachers, students, parents, family, workplace, etc. Using messages having strong theoretical basis, structured discussions and interactive methods, and for students developmentally appropriate messages. But what does not work? Using ex-drug users to provide testimonials which may glamorize or sensitilize drug use of pamphlets and posters only, scare tactics and frightening examples and personal stories that exaggerate and misrepresent the dangers of substance use, and any standalone single event activities. So how can the identification of the substance users be done? It is not an easy task, for problem is not recognized as a disease, but the stigma leading to denial by the individual and the family. The indicators in the hospital setting are gastritis, neuritis, liver disorders, sleep problems, psychiatric symptoms, admission as accident victims, and poor compliance with treatment. What are the other indicators? Spouse behavior, that is poor care of self, withdrawn and depressed, victim of domestic violence, and nature of living not in keeping with income level. The indicators in the workplace include physical deterioration, weight loss, repeated absenteeism, poor quality and quantity of work output, involvement in accidents, frequent loans, poor interpersonal relationships, conflicts, mood swings, irritation, apathy, and lack of grooming and clothing in appearance. Now, what are the indicators in a child? Academic performance not in keeping with IQ level, poor interpersonal relationships, lack of concentration and restlessness, lying, stealing, change in friends, decrease in extracurricular activities, rebellious behavior, and decline in school attendance and dropping out. So, how to provide a referral? We should develop a comprehensive service directory, detoxification and treatment and family therapy, medical services, food donations, clothes, shelters, education, vocational training, legal services in the form of protection from abuses, to understand the community resources, and to look at the services you already know about. They can provide links to other services you don't know about. Keep up-to-date information. Is the contact information still correct? Have the services or admission criteria changed? Who is the best person to talk to? Network is extremely important. And how to provide a referral? One should involve a significant person or family member. Deal with the problem with a non-judgmental attitude, reflecting care and concern. ensure the individual is eligible for the service, talk to the individual about the type of service being recommended, call the agency and set up an appointment, introduce the individual to the referral source, and follow up with the individual to see how the meeting with the referral went. Thank you.
दुनिया में तबाही और बर्बादी के बहुत से कारणों में नंबर 1 कारण ड्रग्स है। ड्रग्स एक धोखा है। ये ड्रग्स आपको सुकून देगा, ये सोचकर आप लेते हैं और इसका अंत आपकी मौत है। ये एजुकेशनल इंस्टीट्यूशन कॉरपोरेट और मालदार लोगों के साथ साथ शहर शहर गांव-गांव में बुरी तरह फैल चुका है, या ये कह लीजिए कि अपना कब्जा जमा लिया है। आज नई पीढ़ी इसके चंगुल में फंस गई है और इस चंगुल से आज़ाद कराना है पूरी दुनिया की नई पीढ़ी की आवाज़। ये क्या, मुझे तो कुछ भी नहीं मिला, मुझसे पहले जो आए थे वो तो कहाँ निकल गए। दरअसल जब आप आदी हो जाते हैं तो इसकी मांग और बढ़ जाती है और आपको इसकी मांग हर हालत में पूरी करनी होती है। आपको पता है कि आपका शरीर कमज़ोर हो रहा है, इसमें पहले जैसी सुंदरता, ताकत, चुस्ती अब नहीं रही। फिर भी आप कुछ नहीं कर सकते, आप मजबूर हैं क्योंकि इसने आपको बहुत मजबूती से दबोच रखा है और आप चाहकर भी इससे खुद को नहीं बचा पा रहे हैं। दवाएं तो बस एक खेल है, ये तो सभी को पता है कि ये गलत है, लेकिन फिर भी हम इससे बच नहीं सकते। मैं एक बार, बस एक बार, सिर्फ एक बार कहकर हम इसे लेते हैं क्योंकि यही असल है कि ये एक बुरी लत है जो किसी भी तरह हमारा पीछा नहीं छोड़ती। ये हमारे सोचने समझने की कुव्वत को ख़त्म कर देती है। दरअसल ये हमसे हमारा सब कुछ छीन लेती है, हमारी ज़िंदगी, हमारा परिवार, हमारे दोस्त, हमारी दौलत, सब कुछ। ये आहिस्ता आहिस्ता हमको अपने कब्जे में करती है और पूरी तरह से दुनिया से अलग कर देती है। ये दुनिया जो इतनी सुंदर है, ये हमसे छीन लेती है। हमें अपनी ज़िंदगी को इसके चंगुल से बचाना है। हमें इस जीवन को इस बुरी लत से आज़ाद कराना है। हमें इससे जीतना है, हमें इसको हराना है। हम कमज़ोर नहीं हैं, हम इसे हराएंगे। हमें आज खुद से ये वचन लेना होगा कि हम इससे पूरी दुनिया को मुक्ति दिलाएंगे। आए आज हम सब मिलकर ये वचन लें कि हम अपनी ज़िंदगी को इस बुरी लत के कारण ख़त्म नहीं करेंगे, बल्कि हम कोशिश ये करेंगे कि पूरी दुनिया से ड्रग्स को ख़त्म कर दें और ड्रग्स का नामो निशान मिटा दें।
On behalf of Students Welfare and Aid Fund Subcommittee, I thank Madam Shushmita Banerjee for her illuminating and inspiring presentation and also creating awareness among the students. I thank our Principal Madam Dr. Shoma Bandyopadhyay for encouraging us to organize such program. I thank Dr. Kuntal Chattopadhyay, IQAC Coordinator, for his valuable suggestions. I thank Dr. Tarannum Mustaq for her motivating speech. And I thank all the members of Students Welfare and Aid Fund Subcommittee for their support. Lastly, I thank Dr. Joyita Koshal for her technical support and for compiling the whole program. Thank you all.